So the rain didn't help the forum or drifting cause, but it wasn't slowing down the side-by-sides. They knew what they were in for as they lined up to brave the weather for Heat 2.
It's an amazing category, this side-by-side challenge, and in all my years of rallying, I don't think I've ever experienced anything like it. And I guess that's one of the big challenges. All the dirt and mud comes flying through, and yeah, this is a bit of a jacket. Normally we wouldn't have a jacket on like this, but as you can see, there's no windscreen, so the elements come flying through.
It was actually drying out yesterday, and we thought this is going well. And we shouldn't have said those magic words, obviously. Now it's raining and more rain to come, so we're looking forward to getting quite muddy. They're talking about how we'll have nice skin after this. We'll have all good mud facials during this weekend. I think so. It's going to be good fun, though.
It's a great mud pack on my skin. It'll be fine. My hair might go a bit curly because we're going to get wet, but you know that's the least of my problems.
As much as anything, Neomi TILLETT's role was about getting her Canam driver used to the concept of pace notes. And judging by their 5th place in Heat 1, Darryl Knight is a quick learner.
For me, he's done a great job learning and listening. And I mean, I've got a great teacher with Tony Quinn, as you know, so it's a good thing.
Snake Racing has turned up with 3 well-prepared Polaris machines. Nathan CHIVERS finished highest in Heat 1, but Wayne Murphy picked up an early stage win and is excited about the season ahead.
Yeah, well, we're all new at it. We spent a lot of time building 3 cars, and we finally got them done by Tuesday, so we haven't done any testing, so it's testing while we're here, so we'll see what happens. Western Australia should be a beauty, and then going back to Queensland and Coffs Harbour to do a 4-round series should be great.
It's Murphy who strikes first in Heat 2, quickest again, almost a second ahead of Cody CROKER. Overnight rain has exacerbated the track conditions, and the surface is being torn to shreds. Murphy's time to shine ends after he hits a rock dislodged by a previous competitor, bending the control arm. Game over for now. Snake Racing teammate Nathan CHIVERS is quickest next stage though. CROKER relegated to the back of the pack after rolling a tyre off the rim of the factory Polaris.
Because when you get a puncture on the front, it's a lot harder to get through the stage, steering-wise, etc. than if it was on the rear. But yeah, so we battled through, lost a bit of time, and that's obviously for today's heat. We had a good lead yesterday, but that doesn't matter today, so it all starts from scratch, so a bit of time to make up. But we'll see how we go, try some new tyres and see if that makes a difference.
Michael Guest's Canam Commander pounces, and he and Nathan CHIVERS trade times through the morning rain. What CHIVERS gives away in rally experience to Guest, he more than makes up for in skill behind the wheel.
We're having to learn a lot really quick and yeah, put trust in the co-driver and listen. And it is hard to get used to, but you know, I've got my dad in there telling me, so yeah, you got to, if you can't trust your dad, who can you trust? So he and you do a recce run and you have a look at it yourself. So you got to go with your gut and what he tells you, and yeah, it all seems to work all right actually. It's good.
Through SS7, Guest takes the outright lead.
Look, there's not much in it. Sure, we've got a slender lead at the moment, and the conditions are really, really tricky. It's so easy to make a mistake. But you know, rallying's rallying. You've got to push hard if you want to, want to finish on top at the end of the day.
But it's short-lived. The father and son duo pushing the Snake Racing Polaris back into the lead very next stage. Cody CROKER's new tyres do the trick. He and Greg FOLETTA have a fight on their hands with CHIVERS, but pull back enough time to eventually wrest the outright Heat 2 win. The weather cut some slack for Heat 3. The rain had left the surface in an unforgiving state, but there was still plenty of mud to share around. Again, Wayne Murphy banks first points in the morning sunshine ahead of CROKER and CHIVERS. It would be a while before the sun dried things out, and rather than tell you about it, we thought you could sit back and soak it all up. Determination pays off for CROKER and FOLETTA. They collect fastest time on the next 3 stages. SS19 is not kind to Snake Racing. Both CHIVERS and Murphy take a dive and lose any chance of the heat win. Chris Sutton pulls one out of the bag through 21, beating CROKER by over a second. Young James Shipp in the Sid Chrome Polaris comes within a second of the leader through SS23 and repeats the feat come finals time at the end of the day. Running on L's with his dad Warren alongside, the Victorian looks set for a future in the side-by-side challenge. While Naomi TILLETT was pondering her next beauty treatment, Daryl Knight was getting set for a final bash through the mud. This was certainly not a weekend to stand on ceremony. It would be a murky ending to the challenge, even for the winners. And the winners were Cody CROKER and Greg FOLETTA, bagging maximum points from Nathan and Les CHIVERS. Ian Hughes is home third, and the youngest competitor, James Shipp, and his dad, fourth. Chris Sutton rounds out the final five. Michael Guest Canam finishes just outside the five and will take 40 points to WA for the next round of the Australian Side-by-Side Challenge.